Okay guys, it is Z, I'm the Reluctant Accountant, and I'm here today with a new series called 5-Minute Finance. So this series is going to be exactly what it says on the tin. I'm going to take 5 minutes to explain some sort of financial concept or something to you, so stick around and let's get into it. Episode 1, show 1, whatever we're going to call this, let's start with pensions. I know it doesn't sound like the most exciting topic, but bear with me. Today we're going to dive into something called the pension triple lock. Now you may have heard something about this. There's been lots and lots of chatter about it, but let's dive into it. Let's get a little bit deeper. Don't worry, I know it sounds confusing, but if you want to think of it, think of the triple lock pension as like a security system, but instead of guarding your house, it is guarding your pension, your retirement fund. So the triple lock is basically a promise made by the UK government to make sure that the state raises the pension every year. And so it's not any raise, it's not by any random number. No, it's a guaranteed number. It's guaranteed to go up by the highest of one of these three things: inflation, wage growth, or 2.5%. So let's say inflation is through the roof at like 10%. Yeah, we've been there. Pensions go up by 10%. Or maybe it's wages that are growing by like 5%. Again, pensions go up by 5%. And if everything is low, if wages are not going up, if inflation is low, then at least every year they're getting the 2.5% that was agreed. So every April, the government does like a little bit of maths and decides which of these three figures is the highest. And that's how much the state pension will increase by. Simple, right? Right? But here's where things get interesting. 2024 is set to bring a nice raise for pensioners based on wage growth figures from May to July of this year. So pensions could go up by about 4%. That means an extra £460 a year for some pensioners, bringing the total weekly payment to about £230. So £230 a week may not sound like a fortune, but when you add that and multiply it by millions of pensioners across the UK, it's a pretty penny. There are nearly 12.7 million people in the UK that rely on a state pension. So you can see why this triple lock thing is a really big deal. Now, not everyone gets the same amount of pension. So if you were born before April 1951 for men and April 1953 for women, you're likely to be on what's called a basic state pension, which is about £169.50 per week. If you're younger, young thing you, if you're younger and you're on the new state pension, this is a bit higher at around £221.20 per week. Are you still following? Okay, good. Like, wait there. This is where it gets a little bit more juicy. So there's some debate about whether the triple lock pension can really last. So some people say, look, this is just too expensive. The government can't keep on guaranteeing these rises, these pension rises to pensioners. Where there is other people that say, well, actually, there are a lot of pensioners that rely on this money and we need to protect it. Let's face it. Prices aren't exactly going down these days. And that makes sense. Like, can you imagine if your pension, which you relied on, was only going up by 2.5%, for example, but groceries are going up by 10%? And that's why pensioners love and are very attached to the triple lock, because it's like their safety net. And what does the future hold for the triple lock pension? Well, it's not guaranteed. Governments can change their minds, especially when costs keep rising. But for now, well, at least for 2024, pensioners are set to get quite a healthy increase. So whether you're a pensioner looking forward to the increase or you're just someone kind of looking at future planning, the triple lock is definitely something to keep your eye on. Because let's be real, who doesn't want like guaranteed pay rises every year? So that's it. Thank you for watching, and if you found that breakdown helpful or at least mildly entertaining, please don't forget to like and subscribe and share. Sharing is caring. And maybe drop a comment with your thoughts on the triple lock pension. So until next time.